back to another reaction video, y'all. It's your boy Kale, back at it again with another reaction video, y'all. If you're not a part of the Can Fan, make sure to hit that damn fucking subscribe button. Hit the subscribe button, y'all. Join the Can Fan. We lit on the side. If you like the video, hit that like button because you're going out to Johnny. Yeah. Today, we're reacting to my man, Tom MacDonald. Scary story, y'all. I'm excited for this, y'all. I can only do 15 minutes of it because I can only process 15 minutes on my laptop, y'all. I know it sucks, but let me know in the comment section below if you want me to finish the story. I'm gonna get 15 minutes in. But yeah, let's hop into the video now.
Welcome to Ghost Stories.
Let's get into it.
With
Ghost
yours
stories.
Truly, Tom.
Do you guys believe in ghosts?
We're gonna have to take a
Let me
trip
know.
in the Wayback Machine for this one, because this happened a long time ago. The year is 2012. Thankfully, the Mayan calendar was wrong, and the much publicized end of the world.
Do you guys remember
come.
that? I do.
But it still got weird. It still got really weird.
I'm excited for this story.
All started with a music video shoot in the small Canadian town, abandoned Canadian town.
Really? That's
of
creepy.
Tranquil. But it wasn't
That's
until
creepy.
after this whole ordeal. It wasn't until after everything that I'm about to tell you. It wasn't until after all of that we found out that Tranquil is actually one of the most haunted places in North America.
No way.
Let's start from the beginning. So there was three of us. There was
That's
myself,
crazy.
the music video director, and my producer at the time, Olivier. We all piled into a vehicle on a Friday afternoon and started the long drive to a long-forgotten corner of the Canadian Pacific Northwest. We were unknowingly embarking on what would turn out to be one of the most terrifying experiences of all of our lives. Aside from a traffic jam on the highway, it was a rather long and uneventful drive. As we drew closer and closer to Tranquil, things gradually became more and more desolate. The cars that we were sharing the highway with gradually disappeared. The streetlights gave way to pine trees, and the tiny communities that just dot the edges of the asphalt were just eventually swallowed up by the suffocating Canadian wilderness. Paved roads turned to gravel, and the gravel roads turned to dirt roads, and the vast forest around us just seemed to entirely close in. And when the paved roads turned to gravel roads, and the gravel roads turned to dirt roads, that's when we reached the Iron Gates. Our final destination, Tranquil, had been cut off from the rest of the world for quite some time. Essentially, Tranquil was home to Canadians who had tuberculosis, and at the time, tuberculosis was incurable and highly infectious. Sound familiar? They pretty much shipped everyone in Canada who had tuberculosis. They shipped all of those people to Tranquil, this tiny town in the middle of nowhere.
No way.
And they shipped them there to, well, die.
That's what I was going to say, to die.
Anyway, we didn't know any of that. All we knew was we had to shoot a music video, and this was the perfect place to do it, and we were going to get it done. So there we were in the middle of nowhere. We pulled the car over to the side of the dirt road. We unpacked everything we needed, lights and cameras and bags and outfits and all that stuff. And we cut into the trees to get around the iron gate that was blocking the road, and we were on our way. So after a short hike through the trees, we came up over the top of a hill, and there it was. Just silent and still and forgotten. There was schools and houses and convenience stores and hospitals and libraries and paint chips just peeling off the outside of the exteriors of these buildings, just flapping in the wind. Just seemed like they were just clinging to a time a little less lonely. We had arrived at Tranquil. So we made our way down the hill, and we crossed the train tracks that encircled the town, and there was no signs of life. And when I say no signs of life, I mean nothing.
I'd have been out, yo.
No birds, no coyotes, no bugs, nothing. Nothing.
No way.
Like what you would expect of a town encapsulated in a massive forest in the middle of nowhere. So we made our way towards the three dilapidated houses. They were just on the outskirts of town, and they were identical. And they sat all in a row. Same paint, same windows, same doors, same front steps. each house as perfectly the same as the next. Anyway, as we got closer, you could practically hear these houses moaning from years of being neglected and years without maintenance. It almost felt and sounded like something was stirring around inside them, and to be completely honest, I wasn't entirely sure I wanted to find out what that something was. But it turns out that I didn't have a choice. While I was standing there just sort of lost in thought and just gripped by this almost tangible apprehension about the situation at hand, something emerged from the middle house. 2 teenage kids, and we stopped dead in our tracks. So it was this boy and this girl, and they sort of like bounced toward us across this like sun-bleached pavement, and their demeanor was weird. So they got close enough to us, and I said to the boy, I said, "What are you guys doing here?"
Facts! What the hell?
Like I said, their demeanor was strange. Well, maybe strange isn't the right word. Their demeanor just did not fit the situation. They were just like smiling and happy, and they seemed like they were excited to see us. And to me, that didn't fit the vibe. So the boy spoke first, and he said, "We're just hanging out, just checking out the abandoned town, and we're filming it with this camcorder." And I was like, "Cool, well, did you see anything weird?" And he said, "Nope, not yet." And then the girl just like interjected, and she was like, "Oh, be careful in the houses. Like a lot of the floors are rotting, and if you go upstairs, you could fall through, and it's really friggin' dangerous." I don't really remember much else about that conversation. It was maybe like 3 minutes long, and they darted off in the other direction, and we just continued on our way. Yeah. So we went into the house that our new friends just emerged from, and the girl wasn't lying. There was a massive hole in the ceiling of the living room where it looked like something on the top floor had fallen through and landed in a giant heap of rubble just sitting on the floor in the living room. It was trippy. So the more we explored, the weirder it got. Like inside the school, there was 3 inches of dust on the desks, and the day's lessons were still scribbled on the chalkboard, and there was pencils and erasers just littered about all the workstations. And if you picked anything up, you leave a perfect impression of whatever you picked up on the surface that you picked it up off of. Like, this stuff literally hadn't been touched in years. After roaming through like half a dozen buildings, we had finally made our decision where we were going to start shooting this music video, and we decided on, of course, the sanatorium. So we were walking down the main street on our way back to the hospital. These guys are crazy. And I noticed something peculiar. Peculiar? When I noticed something up. There was this small white brick building that was just sort of jetting out of the dirt right on the edge of town. And we had a long day of shooting ahead of us, but Tranquil just felt like it was some sort of portal to like an alternate dimension, and we were just so captured by the mystery of this town that like work came second, and we just wanted to explore. So we took off towards that white building. So this building was essentially just like a brick box. It was maybe like 10 feet tall by 20 feet long and 20 feet wide. And it had one of those big metal doors on it. It was like like something that you'd see on a government building. It was that light green color, kind of like sun bleached by the sun. It was missing its doorknobs. I walked over, no windows on this thing, can't see inside. So I walk over to this big green door, and I put my hand inside where the doorknob's supposed to be, and I jerked the door open. So it was dark, and it was not the type of dark that you're familiar with. This wasn't like 1 a.m. in my house dark. This was like pitch blackness. But we're here to shoot a music video, right? So we got lights. So I grabbed one of the lights, and I turned that motherfucker on. So when I turned the light on, there's nothing in this room. There's no windows, there's no doors, there's nothing on the walls, there's not even flooring, it's just plain concrete. It's as plain and white on the inside as it was on the outside, with the exception of one thing: a staircase. going down. I'd be lying if I said we weren't scared, because we were freaked the out.
I don't
man.
blame you.
But here's the thing about 3 dudes hanging out is none of these dudes is going to admit to any of the other dudes that they're scared, because that's not what dudes do.
Facts.
So we're all terrified.
I don't like.
But nobody's going to admit that they're terrified to anybody else.
Facts.
So in the greatest display of masterfully fabricated machismo in the history of mankind, we go down the stairs.
Nah.
We are so deep in denial.
Nope.
And so unwilling to admit that we're afraid in front of another man that we forced ourselves to go down a set of stairs into a black hole inside an abandoned town in the middle of nowhere.
I'm going to stop it there, you guys. I know. I'm trying to finish the story. Let me know if you want me to finish it in the comment section below, y'all. Let me know. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, y'all. This is freaking low-key scared me, y'all. I don't know why they would go down there. Anyways, let me know if you want me to continue the story in the comment section below. I will finish it if we get 40 likes on the video, y'all. But yeah, y'all, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, y'all. We are on the road to 1,000 subscribers. So if you haven't joined the Cam Fam yet, what are you doing? Hit the subscribe button. But yeah, y'all, I'm catch you.